So I just get on Facebook for the first time. I'm the last marketer on the planet to get on there. And getting on Facebook is quite an experience for a guy who's never been on there before. So one of the first things I do when I get on Facebook is my old high school finds me or invites me to the high school reunion group. So I'm like, yeah, I'll jump into the group and see what's going on. I post a video in there right away. I say, welcome to Facebook, Gavin Mehl. And it's a silly video about me, going to Facebook, and I was the last guy on the planet, and just a quick story on how it all happened and why I hadn't been on there. So I get into the group and I see some of the people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and seeing one of the guys in there just reminded me of a powerful story. So back in high school, you may have a person that you knew when you were growing up or in high school that was like the cool guy, the guy who was he was just the popular guy. And I'll tell you, we had a guy like that in our school. His name was Ryan, and this guy was the baseball player. He was a football star. He's a basketball star. I grew up with a guy, went to junior high with him as well, and he just had this spark about him. A lot of the times these jocks or these, say a popular person in high school, maybe they had a way that was an ego about him, but not this guy, man. This guy was so down to earth. He cared about others. Okay, he cared about other people, and he went out of his way. I'm going to plug my mic in. He went out of his way to make you feel at home, make you feel when you saw him. So everybody just wanted to be around this guy. Something magnetic about him. He's the kind of a guy that in high school, and I was awkward walking down the hallway, and not sure if I should say hi to somebody. Didn't want to talk to girls or whatever it was. He'd stop and give me a hug. He did this with a lot of people. Just wow, what an impactful person. So about a few years after high school, I run into the guy. We run into him at a high school meeting, reunion type, and I see the guy, and he's like, he'd been going to these seminars. So it turned out, not only was he doing well, but he'd also been, groomed well and had a lot of education from positive influences on these seminars. One of the seminars he'd been going to gave him some instructions on some things to do. And basically one of the activities was when he was sitting around with a bunch of people at the tables at these seminars, they passed out these cards that says, I like Jane Jones because. And so he's telling us about this story, and we all get together for a nice dinner. It's 8 of us total, right, to get together for a dinner. And this guy Ryan, a good friend of mine at the time, and we sit down, we reunite like old friends do, and we tell some great stories. And Ryan's just kind of the magnetic center of everything, not in an egotistical way, but in just a loving, encouraging way. So he says at the end of the dinner, he's telling us this story about how he'd been going to these seminars and he'd got these cards. So he passed out one of the cards to everyone at the table, eight people at the dinner table. And on the card, it says, I like blank blank because. And so our waiter that we had was lights out. He was amazing. He was just perfect. He was there when we needed him, but did not join the party, and just presented everything perfectly. Refilled cups of water. Everything was great. So at the end of the night, we're going to leave him a 25% tip, which is rather generous, as opposed to say 20% or 15%. But Ryan said, why don't we take these cards and say something nice about the waiter? So we all fill in, I like the waiter, John Jones, because on the cards. And we pass them, and we leave 8 of these inside of the little tip, the money bill, right? The bill with the cards in them to pay to the waiter. So we leave those in there. We go back out to the parking lot, and we're saying our goodbyes and condolences and love to each other. And out of the restaurant, the doors fly open as this waiter. The waiter stops, and he's waving the check in his hand, kind of like, oh man, did we pay the bill? Like, are we skating out on the bill? It was a furious, like, hey, he's waving the check like this. He says, wait a minute, guys, just wait a minute. We all stop, and he says, I've been a waiter for 25 years. And in 25 years, I have never in my life, my time being a waiter, have any more significant and important experience than I've had tonight with you folks here. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. And with a tear in his eye, he closed the door and went back inside. And I tell you, it wasn't the 25% tip. It was the cards. It was the little cards of encouragement that we all left about him, saying something that we liked about him. Just a personal touch. These little cards that Ryan had given us from this seminar. And it said that 3 billion people go to bed each night hungry. But it's actually 4 billion people, it said, go to bed each night hungry for encouragement, hungry for love, hungry for praise, hungry for appreciation. And it's like a longing deep inside. And wouldn't it be sad if it was your wife or husband or mom or dad or friend or loved one that just needed one word, just one hello, just a thank you, I love you, and I can do it to give them that fire to know that someone cares about them. I'll tell you, I sure have been in that position, and I want to thank those like that reached out to me. Nick Lucia, Juan Cassis, Melissa Pinkerton, Jason McDermott. You know, a list goes on. There's a lot of people that reached out to me and gave me some kind words or had questions. And you know, Gavin Mehl Global Mastermind Call is it's a mastermind community. It's not just about me, guy flapping his gums on a video and here, but it's about bringing us together. Okay, it's about uniting us together in the same goal, okay, of increasing all areas of our life, including health and prosperity, longevity, happiness, harmony. But one of the things a lot of people are asking about was health, and I had a call 2 or 3 weeks ago about how I got lean and shredded, and how I got amazing health. So I want to talk a little bit about that today, but also a couple of other stories. So I was just out in the park. I shot a Periscope video. I was out in the park here in Sacramento. I live in a community where it's an old golf course out back. So before I built the house here, we had a golf course that sat in this community for many years. And whenever I have friends or tell them they're locals where it is, they say, oh, that's a golf course. It was a golf course long ago, but now it's just a private community. It has parks and it has old lakes in it where ducks are and geese. And so I'm out there. I go for a walk. I shoot a video. And there's 2 young brothers. One of them is 3 and one is 5. And they're out to feed the ducks with their dad, their old man. I stop and I say hi as a friendly neighbor would, send my best regards. And one of the younger brother, Paul, he's got Cracker Jack, and his older brother, David, he's got peanuts for these ducks. And there's the dad. So I'm just talking to the dad, and we're shooting the breeze. And I noticed out of the corner of my eye that the older brother, the 5-year-old brother, David, he reaches for the Cracker Jack to take some of the Cracker Jack from his younger brother, Paul, just to help himself. So he reaches his hand out like this, and Paul stops him and puts his hand out and stops him. And then he takes a little 3-year-old left cross right into the kisser of the 5-year-old. And I kind of laugh and chuckle. It's harmless, but they're getting into it. And so the old man stops the 2 of the boys, separates them, and instinctually the old man says, hey, David, the 5-year-old, why don't you share some of your peanuts with your younger brother, Paul? So he does. He grabs some of his peanuts, puts his bag out to Paul to share some of the peanuts with him. Paul, the 3-year-old, instinctually, not even having enough ability really to communicate English, at this time, he's just a kid. He stops. He says, no. And he could say the word no. He says, no, he didn't want to have any peanuts. Instead, now, after slugging his older brother, right, in the kisser, he instinctually insists that the older brother have some of his Cracker Jack first. So why do I tell you this story? Well, because it's a lesson I learned from a little 3-year-old boy, a little 5-year-old boy and 3-year-old boy, on how to get what I want in life, or how you can get what you want in life, right? So first, the 5-year-old boy, he had to learn the hard way. He got slugged in the jaw. He got slugged in the kisser from his younger brother. Now, I've done that before and tried to reach out for something and take something and say, hey, do this, do that, and get kicked over to the ground, or something bad happened. But through this story of these two young brothers out in the park here, I took back the fact that the 5-year-old now, he offered his younger brother some of his peanuts. The younger brother, he wouldn't even take the peanuts, but now he insists that the older brother have some of his Cracker Jack. Okay, it's actually called the law of retaliation. It's talked about by Napoleon Hill, and a number of other ways, and it goes back into the scriptures for thousands of years. It's been talked about. People say you get what you want by helping enough people get what they want. Okay, give in order to get karma. It's talked about a lot of other ways, but it's a simple little story I thought I would share with everyone today, because I know it will help teach a lesson that I learned, and it caused me suffering by trying to get something without giving something first. And it's funny how the little 3-year-old boy, he didn't know any of this, but he knew that by his older brother giving him some of his popcorn or his peanuts, offering him them, he said, no, he wants to now give his Cracker Jack up, which he was just slugged his older brother about, just because of the way that they encountered. So Gavin Mehl Global Mastermind call is not a guru's call. I'm a student, just like, on the same level as anybody else who watches this call, okay? But I've developed a tremendous amount of confidence, and I have a lot of experience. I have a ton of experience. I first became incredibly successful, became a #1 salesperson at a large company of 10,000 people straight out of college, and went into the job interview for the place, and I had success in college with a fraternity, and I worked full-time selling furniture at Macy's downtown. And I went in to get this job because I wanted to get the secrets of making $10,000 a month. That's what I wanted. I want the secrets of getting to $10,000 a month. So I'll show you a quick story here as to what I learned from this and how it's all going to relate to what I'm talking about now. It's very relevant. So I go into the job, I go to the interview, and I'm very confident, almost like too confident. I've been humbled later on. But I'm going to be the #1. Who's the #1 person here? Well, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be the #1 guy in this company. I'm going to be the #1 in this branch. I know I can do it. He says, great. Well, now I just need to learn the secrets of how I'm going to make $10,000 a month. Because I had no idea what they did. I didn't know anything. I just had confidence. So I get in there. We get into the training, a big training session, big training meeting, and it's I figure, okay, this is great. I get hired in, I'm early, I show up really early, and I'm going to learn the secrets of how to make $10,000 a month. And I'm eager. I got my notepad out. I'm going to write all the notes down. It's on. I'm going to learn exactly how to do this, how to get to $10,000 a month. That was more than I was making at the time. So all of a sudden, there's no talk about how to do anything. It's a recognition. They start recognizing these people in other branches. And my branch at the time, I didn't know at the time, was not successful. We're actually the worst branch in the whole company, the lowest, the bottom. So nobody was recognized. So we get into this big, kind of an auditorium setting where they're going to recognize successful people. Well, I'm sitting there. I'm great. I'm going to learn some secrets, I think. So they recognize this guy, and he's successful. Everybody cheers. This guy comes up. He's successful. Everybody cheers. This goes on and on and on and on and on and on for an hour. I'm sitting there. I'm losing my patience. I'm frustrated. I said, I'm already coming from a successful job. I quit my job. I quit it. Left. Done. So now I'm here. I'm not learning any secrets. I'm seeing these other people parade up and down. I don't care about their success. This is what I'm thinking at the time. I don't care about these other people's success. I want to learn the secrets. Why am I not learning the secrets? How do I learn the secrets? I'm very frustrated. I have no patience at the time. So one of the older gentlemen, distinguished gentlemen, he stops me, and I'm a brand new kid, big ego, straight out of college. He says, hey, I look very uncomfortable. He's like, are you uncomfortable? What's wrong? He's like, I stop. I'm like, yeah, I want to learn the secrets of making $10,000 a month. We're wasting an hour of time here when I could be learning this stuff. We're celebrating all these other people's success. He's like, he stops me. He says, you're already learning the secrets. And I said, what? He says, yeah, you're already learning the secrets of how to be successful here. The secret is believing you can do it. Believing you. I said, no, 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 no. I want to learn the techniques. What's all the techniques? What do I got to do? Lesson is I had to focus on the mindset, okay? Mindset, not the techniques. Later that day, I go into a big meeting here with the manager, and all the other new people are in the office, and they want us to. I figured this is going to be it. Of course, I didn't learn anything from what the guy said. I got a hard head and ego at the time, and I said, this is going to be it. I'm going to learn the secrets from this manager. He's going to tell me what I got to do. So he goes in, he starts passing out this pile, and he's passing out these papers. I'm like, great, what's this? Maybe the secret's in here about how to be successful, how I can get to 10,000 a month. I was one track mind. I want to get 10,000 a month. I heard somebody made that here. I want to get that. So I raised my hand. I was like, excuse me, how is this going to get to me to 10,000 a month? He's like, okay, Jenny, he ignores me. I said, all right, everyone, get out there and get to work and hit the phones. And I start kind of scratching my head. I'm thinking, what? And I said, how do I get to 10,000 a month? I need to learn the secrets. I quit a job, very successful at a job, to be here. And now no one's telling me the secrets. This is like the first day. No patience at all. So he says, either hit the phones or you can head for the door. So I got scared at this time. I hit the phones. A week goes by and no secrets. All I had was people yelling, angry people at me, and I'm going just completely downhill spiral at this time. I'm like, this is a bad move, bad decision. Here I am at this company. There's no secrets. There's no nothing. I can't, why can't I be successful? No one's telling me anything. So it was a very frustrating experience. I go into the office at the beginning of the next week. I said, listen, I came here to learn the secrets of making 10,000 a month. And all you do is give me these papers and tell me to hit the phones. I said, what's going on? He says, listen, you want to know the secrets? You want to know the secrets? I said, yeah, I want to know the secrets. This is going to be it. And he says the same thing. He said, the secret is believing you can do it. The secret is believing you can do it. I said, no, that's not the secret. So my failure continues for the next 4 months. I mean, I failed miserably. But something snapped, something clicked on the 5th month. Something clicked, and I became the #1 of the company that month, 5th month. I started believing I could do it by the 5th month. Kind of instinctually, it just happened. And then once I had that success, the believing I could do it became so high, it became automatic. It became a habit. All right. And I was not going to go back. So it became just constantly staying #1 for 20 straight months. I believed I could do it, and it became almost like a Jedi mind. Easy. Couple of powerful things happened over the last couple recently. One this week and one the last. Last week, I had a very experience that I want to share with people. I think will help a lot of people in life and in general. I had faced a crossroads, a decision of choosing material possession, and fighting, right? And choosing the fight for material possession, or choosing to let the material possession go, lose money, but have the peace of mind and the freedom, and then the knowing that something better would come. And really, the option B wasn't even an option. So I meet with my attorney, and we review all these options about this material possession I'm going to possibly lose, go through, and it made no sense to give it up. No sense at all. We put out one of these T-charge benefits, pros and cons of both sides, and everything was on the pro side. 99% was on the pro side of why I should fight for it and how it could make more sense. So my attorney agreed that was the way to go. I'm like, something inside of me is telling me that I should let go of material possession. I don't know what. It was like something inside of me that I used to ignore. It's like a voice. It was almost like a feeling. It wasn't a voice like on my shoulder, but it was a feeling inside of me. I don't know if you've ever had a feeling like that where maybe I used to ignore the feeling sometimes, like a gut feeling. It's telling me I should let go of this material possession, even though it made no sense. I'm like, how? Why? It makes no sense. So I come to the crossroads, and it's time for the decision. I'm out on a walk, actually. I like to walk every day. I call it weird. I walk every day. If I can walk for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour a day. If I get the chance, it's not pouring down rain like it is today, even though I got a break, I try to walk. So I take a walk, and it gives me time to really think and it seems like I'm in nature. Something about being in nature and stopping allows me or anyone to think. So if you're ever having frustration, a decision, or you don't know the answer, get outside for a walk. What? Walk? Yeah, it's so powerful. A simple walk. Just, you can even leave your phone here. I would leave my phone away if I can. Sometimes if I have to have it with me, I'll bring it. But if I can leave it, I will. Just to be in nature, be with one of my thoughts, and let my thoughts go by themselves. So this is at the point where I make the decision. I see an old friend out on the walk. We reunite like old friends do and talk, and he invites me into his house. Hey, I got a new place over here on my walk. I'll go check it out. And I didn't bring up any of this decision that I was doing, but I leave the place and something snapped inside of me. Something changed, okay? This is really important right here, point that I know will help you. So pay close attention. Stay to the end of this. I've got some important announcements here that's tremendous value on some things. So you want to stay till the end. So this is where something changed in my mind. I go back up, and I'm up on the levee. Right? It's totally open nature. And I went from thinking about me, okay? I went from thinking about me, what I'm going to lose, how I could be affected, what me. I had this me mentality, right? All of a sudden, after seeing my friend who I hadn't seen for a while, all of a sudden something came into me that says, it's people that matter. It's people that count. People are what make the difference to me. People are what inspire me. It's all about people and relationships with people, and looking people in the eye and telling them they can do it, encouraging them, sharing my gift, my talent, which is I know how to talk and I know how to write. Okay, that's about all I can do. I can't do a lot of other things. Okay, so we can laugh about me for a lot of other things I cannot do well, but I know how to talk, I know how to write. Okay, that's what I know how to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to share my gift on that. But I have this epiphany, epiphany that just says, it's all about people. I start breaking down in tears. I mean, tears are running down my face because it was so powerful. I let go of the I, and I started focusing on the we, the people, right? The unity, what we can do together at this point. And I knew 100% I was going to let go of this material possession, even though it made no sense at all. I had no idea how it was going to work out better. And, it hasn't necessarily worked out better or anything like that yet, but I just know that it will. Something better is going to come. Something incredibly good is going to come because of this situation. I want to just drive home this important point and this valuable lesson that I learned from this, that if you're ever facing a decision like that, where you got to choosing freedom, choosing happiness, choosing bliss over choosing fight and negativity and anger for material possession, I'm telling you, my experience was I have been down the road of fighting. I've been down that road of pain and anger, and it sucked, man. It's stressful, and it's just not fun. And I ended up losing anyways when I did that fight. So this time I said, no, I'm going to go with it because I love people, and I'm going to choose happiness and harmony and joy because I don't want my happiness stolen from something. It's too important to me. And I hope that you feel the same way. Story, incredibly, this is profound. I haven't talked about this with anyone yet. All right, so I'm going to come out about this one on public, and it's going to be could be very controversial, but I don't care because I just don't care. I'm going to tell it like it is. I learned from Marcus Holman, shout out to him. In order to be free, I got to be me. In order to be free, I got to be me. No script, just going to talk from the heart, but I've got a couple bullet points. This is a story about judgment that I was facing and how I learned to overcome it. I think it will help other people. I was a hypocrite. I was being a hypocrite. I'll be the first. I was being a hypocrite. I didn't even know it. Here's how. I come across Marcus Holman introduces me. First of all, I've been in this running for this thing called this blog spot with this company, Zukul, where I'm going to become the featured blogger on their advertising platform. So I write articles, right? I write articles, do videos. People see my traction. They see my stuff. And then advertisers, they advertise on my blog or this platform who are coming in and looking for what I'm doing, let's say, right? So in this process, Marcus introduces me to this guy called Keith Rhodes, who I really respect, very wise gentleman, incredibly successful background in business, and just a person I really, really look up to. I just never thought I'd have the chance to meet him. I don't know why. He's just kind of a big shot, this guy Keith, in my opinion. And he worked with a lot of high-level people, did projects with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He did Mike Tyson's house, a lot of big things he's done. He built Mike Tyson's house, actually lived with the guy back in the day. And so Marcus introduces me to him, and I get a chance to talk with him. We have these hour-and-a-half conversation. One hour-and-a-half conversation, we really connected. And I thought I was just going to be there to listen, because that's the type of guy he is. He has so much good information. And I said, I'm just here to listen. I want to be a student. And he actually was open to listen to me too, which was powerful. So the next call, we get deeper and we start discussing things more. And my big mouth, that I have, bite my tongue sometimes. The call was pretty much already over. The guy's wife's there with him, and he had to go to dinner or something else. And I got to keep talking. When I'm having a good time, I'm getting going. I bring up the subject of truth, and I say, I believe that there's only, one way to the Father, and I believe that's through the Son. And if you don't, and I said, talked about truth. And if somebody doesn't believe this, then, I felt that could be bad for them. This is a big awakening. It's kind of hard to say this, but I'll tell you what, I know it's going to help a lot of other people. So he says, well, that's good that you believe that, but I believe that, there's a loving force in that permeates all space. Okay, this is what I believe. I believe there's a loving force that permeates all space and all beings and everywhere that we go. And that loving force, that loving spirit, you could call it divine providence or universal intelligence, if you like. That spirit is all loving, and it doesn't have hate or, it's not fear-based. And for some reason I knew that, but I was not doing it. I was being a hypocrite. And I always talked about before, I was like, each to his own without judgment. I don't judge other people. But there was one last thing that I felt like I had to overcome in the way of judgment. And it was this. I felt something, inside of me was like, if somebody didn't believe this part of the scriptures, I felt like I was judging them. And that is, I just want to come out and say I was wrong. I was wrong to think that because of what someone believes, that they're not going to get the love that they deserve. That is absolutely wrong on my part. All right. So I just want to thank Keith for having this huge transformation, almost. It's like a transcendence that I feel like I've experienced. Very freeing to stop judging people. Okay. Because I feel like I was judging others. And I totally know that's wrong. I know it's wrong to judge. It's like, I don't judge people for the most part. This was like hanging on. This was like a hanging on thing. I felt like I was still judging people that maybe because they hadn't believed it. Let's say they didn't believe the same faith that I believed, I was going to judge them. No, that is wrong. I just want to say, please forgive me. Okay. To the creator, to anyone out there, to Keith, say thank you. I appreciate you watching and letting me come out on public about that, because it's a really a profound experience, and I hope that it helps others. I know that it will help others to eliminate that judgment, okay, because it's fear-based. I had a fear-based teaching that I was taught and locked into. I was locked into this fear-based thing, and I believe that anything fear-based, and he made this point to me, Keith, that if it's fear-based, it's not from love, and that's not something I want to learn from. I want to learn from encouragement. I want to learn from love. I want to learn from truth, not from fear. Because the mainstream media is all about teaching fear. All right. Enough about that. So shout out to Nick Lucia, Juan Cassis, Jason, Melissa McPinkerton, Jason McDermott, a number of other people. I just want to talk about some of the people had a lot of questions and comments about health. How did I stop aging? And this is kind of a bold statement, but I stopped aging. I don't age. You can look at my back. I don't age anymore. First thing was a decision. I had to make a decision that I didn't want to age anymore. Why did I? I didn't want. I just decided I'm done aging. This is it. I made that decision first. And this, for whatever reason, this came easy for me. This was like easy. This is like one of the easiest things I ever do was making that decision. I'm no longer aging. Okay. Like that sounds crazy. Well, I don't care. That's just my decision. I made the decision a long time ago. So that was the first thing. I had to study to make a decision. No more aging. I'm not aging, period. Then the things started kind of falling into place, lining up for me. But it wasn't easy. Just tell a quick story about what I do. Let me give you a story on how I do, but I'm gonna have to have you come back as well for next week I've got some powerful information on this I'm gonna share that will help people. And it's all about providing tremendous value. Okay, I don't even have anything for you to buy, nothing to buy here, but I just want to provide this value because I know it's gonna help other people. So that was the first thing. I had to make a decision. I'm not gonna age anymore. Second, once I made that decision, things started coming into my life that I thought would help me from stopping to age. So I'm spending hundreds of dollars a month on supplements for years. This is going on for years. I had asthma, so I was trying to get rid of the asthma, and the asthma was causing inflammation in my lungs and my body, so that was causing me to age. I said, I got to get rid of this asthma. I started taking pills and supplements. Long story short, I realized that was a waste of money and a waste of time, okay? Supplements do not work. I'm not bad about supplements. I'm going to say they don't work. I don't know. They're not necessary. They're not necessary. I don't have to spend any money on supplements to stop aging. I don't have to spend any money on supplements to get lean, period. Doesn't need to happen. Now, why does getting lean have to do with aging? Well, what I found out is that by being fat, okay, by being a fat person, a fat belly, fat boy, whatever, that's inflammation in the body. And when the body's inflamed, okay, it's aging. It's like stressed out, and the inflammation. I mean, imagine anything. Imagine like, rubbing your hand on a rope, right? And you're holding a rope. Your hands are going to start to burn. They're inflamed. Same thing with having a bunch of fat on a body. The body's inflamed. Oh, it's expanded. It's very inflamed. So I realized that I had to eliminate that inflammation, get it out of the body in order to stop aging. That was a huge thing. And I didn't do it through supplements. I'm going to tell you how I did it on the next video, okay? But I'll give you kind of just a quick help for the guys who ask questions. I'm not going to tell you the whole procedures that I use, but one of the things that really helped me profoundly was learning about from Ori Hofmeckler about the warrior diet and intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting is a simple procedure that anyone can do. That it's helped me profoundly to stop aging process. I spend less money. I don't buy any supplements, and all it is just control my feeding cycle. So as opposed to going from where I used to be told by the mainstream media, and I'm going to be bold about this. Stop listening to the mainstream media. Stop going on YouTube. Stop looking for the answers to this crap. Okay. In order to be successful, you got to learn from someone who has what you want. And in this section here, aging and getting lean, getting healthy, I will be honest. I mean, I've got it. I'm going to be bold about it. I'm confident. Okay. I cracked that open, wide open. Okay. That's for sure. You can read the blogs I put on my blog about, see all the pictures for yourself. I've got another one I'm going to do as well with some pictures. But more importantly, learn from people who have what you want. Most of these people are going to be out there, they're going to try to sell you supplements. They're going to think, and then I got sucked into it. I got to buy all these supplements to get what I want. Stop aging, get lean. No, forget that. It's all about feeding cycle and calorie deficit. And the calorie deficit is caused by the feeding cycle. I'm going to make this try to make this very simple without getting too complicated about it. So what I did was I realized that every pound of human body needs 15 calories, all right, to maintain. That's just the way it is. That's for a moderately active person. Doesn't matter, male, female, anybody. Just 15 calories per pound of body weight. So as a 160-pound male, moderately active for the day, I need 2,400 calories. So if I'm under 2,400 calories, I'm going to start losing that inflammation. Let's call it fat. Lose that fat. It's going to start coming off. Whether I exercise or not, if I'm under that, it's going to come off. That's just a matter of fact. So in order to do that, I was having a hard time with it. So in order to do that, I would go overeat. I would eat at night. I would pig out at night, ice cream, cookies, popcorn. I love eating popcorn at night. I eat way too much butter, and then it would just be all of a sudden 3,000, 4,000 calories the next day. I wake up, and then I eat again in the morning. I eat eggs. It was just a habit. I always eat eggs, toast in the morning, protein shake. But I was full. I'd be full in the morning, but I'd still eat more. And it would start again. Then it would be 11 o'clock, eat again. Then it would be 1 o'clock, I'd eat again. Then 4 o'clock, I'd eat again. Then it would be dinner all over again. I'd eat again. Then at night, I'm having snacks again. Now it's like, oh my gosh, I am so stuffed. But it was a habit. It was like what the mainstream media had taught me how to eat. It taught me how to eat every few hours. I got to eat every few hours because that's the way my metabolism would speed up. That's what I was taught. That's what the mainstream media says. Well, that is freaking wrong. It is wrong. It's wrong. All right, I'm coming out and tell you the truth. It's totally wrong. Don't, I'm going to tell you just go right to the point. All right, I learned the hard way from having to go through massive amounts of information, massive amounts of trial and error, that's wrong. Here's what I did. I just stopped. I pushed my breakfast out as late as I could. Initially, it was just a few hours, and then I just ended up pushing it out 8 hours. And by starting my day of eating 8 hours after I wake up, my feeding window is only about 4 to 6 hours. So in 4 to 6 hours, I have all my calories, usually like 2 meals, maybe in a snack. Sometimes maybe a 1 meal and a snack. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm under that calorie limit, then I can get rid of that inflammation. Then I go to bed. So another myth that I realized is I thought, oh, if I eat too late at night, I'm going to get fat. Well, guess what? I was still eating at night anyways. Even though I knew it was bad, I still did it. Why? Because as humans, we're designed to eat at night. We hunt in the morning, and we go out and hunt and gather in the morning. Then at night, we gather and eat. That's just the way we were as a species. So my body was designed to eat at night, and so I would decide, oh, I don't want to eat at night. It's going to be bad. I would do it anyways. So now I can eat when I want, what I want, and still get lean. One of the other really, really important things is I used to do these crash diets. They don't work, and they're not long-term. Okay, I wanted long-term health, lifetime of health, lifetime of being lean, and lifetime of stopping aging. That was important to me. And I tried these yo-yo diets of no carbs or no fats back in the day. No, don't eat fat, don't eat carbs. That was the thing. Don't eat bread. No, okay. Well, anytime someone says don't in front of something, question, because it's probably wrong, because it's fear-based. It says don't. Do. Let me talk about what do. Do. So I learned that was all a bunch of crap, these crash diets. These crash diets had me up and down and up and down, and I'm telling you, that was just the wrong way to go. What I discovered is that I wanted a way to have long-term lasting health that I could do every day, not a crash day, where I can have still satiating foods, cake, and I can enjoy ice cream, and I can enjoy, if you eat red meat, you can enjoy red meat. I can enjoy burgers. On Sunday, a buddy of mine comes in town, and he stays with me over the weekend. Shout out to Rich Kerr. Guy comes into town, and we did like a before. He was here visiting me in October. And then it was 6 months later, not even that. And so he took pictures of me back then. I was outside I was suntanning at the time. And then now, and he's like, dude, you got freaking insanely shredded from the last 6 months since I've seen you. And I'm like, I'm kind of explaining it to him, and he just doesn't really believe me. So that I eat what I want, and I can have all the food I want, whatever I want. So we go out on Sunday, and we go to this restaurant here in town. It's like a restaurant bar. And I order this giant burger, a giant grass-fed burger about this big, like 1,000 calories in the burger. And then the fries are greasy and full of everything I want in the fries. All right, so I'm eating, 1,500 calories in this meal, giant meal, huge. And he's just looking at me like, dude, and even the waitress or the bartender is just like, and I've got my shirt, I had a tank top on at the time. They're just like, how are you so shredded and eating this? Like, this is insane. And I'm trying to explain what I'm talking to you here about in simple terms. I do intermittent fasting. That's it. Just stay under the amount of calories I have to eat, right? By the intermittent fasting allows me to eat what I want. Eat the amount of food that I control my diet. So if I'm allowed 2,400 calories a day, well, shoot, if I picked out on 1,500 calories in that one meal with the burger and fries, well, I can only have another 900 calories. That's it. I have to have that later on. So it allows me to do that by controlling when I eat. If I have that meal in the morning, and then I have another meal in the afternoon, then another meal at night, and then ice cream late at night, I'm gonna be way over. I'm gonna be a fat cow. There's no way it's gonna work. But if I control that by doing the intermittent fasting, it eliminates the inflammation. Okay, and it will help you so much by doing this. I hope that this I can just save people the amount of struggle that I went through with this in identifying the keys to stopping aging, because there's something inside of us. It's a survival mechanism. It's in all people. It's in everything. I mean, if you put out in the woods, let's say, if I put a if I put food inside of a, how to catch a monkey, okay? If I put food inside of a cage, and inside of this cage, there's food around monkeys. The monkey will go in, put his hand inside the cage to grab the food, but if the hole's small enough, the monkey pitches his fist like this, he can't get it out because he's got a survival mechanism. It's telling him that he has to eat to survive. And he won't let go of the food, so he's trapped. He's a prisoner, right? It's the survival mechanism. Same thing with people. We have a survival mechanism. We're not going to, of course, like that with the monkey, but we have a survival because we have to survive. We want human survival. So what I'm telling you is all relevant to success, to the law of attraction, and to making incredible money. Because in order to be happy, we've got to be healthy. We've got to take control of our health. And how can we be healthy if we're inflamed? You know, we've got a massive inflammation going on in our body. How the heck can we be healthy? Well, I'll tell you exactly how I got rid of massive inflammation, got rid of toxins and fat without spending any money. All right. What I'm going to talk about on the next session, you're not going to want to miss, is very, very important, because what I'm going to provide you is just massive amount of value from years and years and years of study and experience it. Because I believe that in order for me to learn from somebody, they got to have what I want, but they also have to be walking the walk. You know, I learned a long time ago to stop. I stopped learning from leaders who just talked about it. I was like, you know, I think they say out in, what state is it? Nebraska. It's like, show me. Oh, Arkansas. Show me. It's like, I want to see it. Show me, dude. Show me the proof that you made it. Show me the proof that you can do it. So I believe in walking the walk. You know, while I talk a lot, and I say, yeah, this guy talks so much and runs his mouth, and I'm blah, blah, blah. And it is what it is. I know how to talk and I know how to write. I'm going to talk, but I have gotten these results. Okay. So I'm going to show you. And why am I sharing this? Why? Well, it's not to toot my ego. It's because I've learned now that I got to provide value. I got to provide this information on the things that I've learned, because I know it's going to help uplift humanity. My definite purpose in life is spreading love and prosperity to humanity. All right. And this is all part of the process of laying this groundwork in. And by 2020, 3 to 5 billion new people are coming online. This is what Huffington Post says. It's a very these people are consumers. They're going to be looking for things to buy and ways to shop online. When I came up, we had the rotary phone. We didn't have the internet. Now, you know, if you have kids, your kids are going to be coming up on the internet. They're going to be learning online. Whether you like it or not, they're going to learn by videos. That's just what studies say. Huffington Post talks about they're going to learn by video. So it's important that we put this valuable information out to them to help them. Okay, not because of what's in it for me. I get these people out there. Sometimes they say, well, why would you do that, Gavin? Why would you make that video? Why would you do that call? Why would you put this value out there? Why would you do that? You know, why don't you charge people for it? I have people frustrated with me and mad at me because of this. But I give them love back, because anytime somebody is frustrated at you, I always stop and I give them love back, you know, to neutralize the hate. And I do it because, first of all, it's the right thing to do. I'm called to do it. So I can't really control it. This is what I have to do. I'm called to do it. And also I realize that by helping them get what they want, like Zig Ziglar would talk about, I'm going to get what I want anyways. It's inevitable. The law of increasing return says that if you plant seeds, like a farmer plants seeds out in the woods, out in the gardens, continually does it, well, he's not going to get a crop tomorrow. But what people do is they go out to the garden of life and they kick it over the next day like a toddler. I've done this. Kick over the dream the next day, the next week. Oh, is there any fruit left? Is there any plants, any flowers yet? There's no flowers yet. It takes time to harvest. It may take 3 months. It may take 3 years. Really, it's up to you. It comes back to the story at the beginning of how I wanted to make $10,000 a month coming into this company. No patience, but I knew what I wanted. I wanted to make 10,000 a month. I wanted to become successful. But I learned, they taught me the secret was believing I could do it first. So it really came down to believing I could do it. In order to be free, I had to be me. I'd love to learn more. Oh, by the way, I'm on Facebook now, talking in the beginning. Send me a private message if you don't want to leave a comment below. You could just send me a private message. Please forgive me, whoever messaged me on Facebook or sent these things. I'm not sure about all the communication methods on Facebook yet. I'm not So don't take offense if I didn't respond or see something yet. I'm still learning Facebook. It's only been a week, 1 week on Facebook. So if you sent me something and I didn't see it, don't take it personal. Send it again. Send me another message. And I will get back to you, because I'm going to take a lot of pride in responding, being a real person forever. I can't stand those people that becomes, I was this guy, okay? I was the guy who became successful, hit the top, and thought he was too cool, okay? I can't stand how I used to be. So I know from experience of being that guy, of trying to hide behind an image. Oh, I'm too cool. Forget that. I'm never going to be like that again. I am going to be transparent. And if somebody has a question they want to talk, I'm going to be like, here's what I know. I'm going to share what I know. If they're coachable and want to learn. Quick story yesterday. I'm training at this, at the rec center where I train at, where I lift weights at. And oh, by the way, I'll talk about it more next week. The story was that this kid comes up to me, and I normally go in and I train, and I try to buy my own business, right? But there's I have it in my heart that I want to help those who want to learn, because I know that the first rule in anything that I talk about, first rule is you got to be teachable. How teachable are they? It's like the teachability index. How teachable am I right now? Am I teachable? So I kind of think that when I meet someone, I'm not just going to go tell them everything I know and blab my mouth. No, I'm going to just keep it quiet and try to learn how to listen. That's what I work on, listening more. I talk enough. So this kid comes up to me, and I'm in the gym, and he's like, man, how did you get so in such good shape? How did you get shredded? How did you, he's asking all these questions. I take up my headphones, and I just kind of let him talk. I said, well, why do you want to know? And he's like, well, I just want to look good. I said, well, why? Why do you want to look good? Well, I just want to be stronger. Well, why? Why do you want to be stronger? So, and he's like, well, I just want to, look this certain way. And I'm like, well, okay, I understand you want to look a certain way, but why? Why? And I kept on narrowing it down with him, narrowing it down to why. He had no idea who I was, but he knew I had what he wanted. So it turns out that he wanted the same thing that I wanted. That the reason that I got in shape was confidence. I wanted confidence, and that was the same thing he wanted. He wanted more confidence. He wanted a maximum amount of confidence to do better in school. Just a high school kid, to do better in sports, to do better around his friends, better with girls. He wanted more confidence. That was his why. So sitting there, I get back to my workout. At the end of the workout, I'm done, and he's standing there, just a humble kid. But I asked him how he was doing. Before I started running my mouth, I asked a few questions. He's extremely teachable. He was very coachable. Unlike most anyone else I talked to or tried to talk to me in this rec center, ask me a question and they want to tell me everything they know. And I thought, that's okay. But I'm not there to learn. I'm there to just work out and get the heck out of there, right? But he wasn't there to tell me everything he knew about all the things he'd done wrong. He really wanted to learn. He was very teachable. So I sat and talked to him 15 minutes, and I told him exactly formulas and different things that I do. I'm going to talk more about it next week. So stay tuned next week. It's going to be incredibly valuable. If you want to get, stop aging, have better health, have more prosperity, more money, more peace of mind, better family relationships, better friends, just more happiness in general. Stay tuned next week on the same time. Well, I'm not sure exactly what time. You'll have to watch the channel. It'll probably be around 3 o'clock Pacific time. But I'm doing it on Friday. I don't have a set time yet. I don't like holding myself to a deadline on things like that. So I just do it by inspiration. But next Friday, stay tuned, and we'll do the Gavin Mehl Global Mastermind call. This is actually call number 14. Today is the 2nd, 3rd. I don't know what day is it today. Today is the what is today? Doesn't matter. It's Friday. So if you want to learn all this information, stay tuned next week. I would love to hear from you. If you do have a comment, question, or observation, you can leave it below. If you'd rather do it in private, you can message me on Facebook now, Gavin Mehl. I think there's a link on my YouTube channel for that. There's a link on my YouTube channel about that now. And also regarding the law of attraction, if you want to learn more about the law of attraction, I've created a series. It's a 7-day series. I've already done 2 sessions of it. I'm going to start the next session next Tuesday. It's very powerful on manifesting desires and dreams. And I've experienced this in my life, and I've been under very advanced coaching, okay? And not only just coaching, doing. I learn by doing. I learn by doing it. So I've recorded a series as to what I do. And so you could get that in the link below. It's a free series. I just don't have it public. It's an unpublished video. I just think it's so special that I don't want to just send it out there for everybody. I want people to subscribe, put their email in, and I'll send it out to you. It's in 2 parts right now, 2 video logs of the 7-day process of exactly what I do. It's profound, very profound. I'm going to start the next one on Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Gavin Mehl, Global Mastermind call number 14. We'll see you next time. Be the best. If you want to be free, you gotta be yourself. So if I want to be free, I gotta be me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. I love you.